The worst advice ever. Today's video is about so much more than just the worst piece of advice you can get, because there's a million bad pieces of advice out there. There's a million different ones, guys. But there's three groups of people that you never ever want to listen to life advice from these three groups of people. These three groups of people, I see them holding people back more and more all the time. So I'm going to enjoy sharing this with you today. The first one is politicians. I see so many people taking advice from politicians all the time. 75% plus of politicians out there, guys, have never done anything in their real life, okay? How's a politician supposed to tell me, the common man, how to do this? How a business is supposed to run when they've never even run a business before? How are they going to tell me what's best for the economy when they've never even been involved with the economy? They're a politician. They collect government checks, okay? How can they tell me that they can feel my pain as the common man, as the middle class, or even if I'm rich? How can they even describe that when all along they've just been collecting government checks pretty much their entire life, guys? It's 75+% of politicians out there. If you look at their resumes, what do their resumes look like? They went to college for a whole bunch of years, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, 100 years, right? Then they get into the political game slowly but surely, and then they're a politician, a lifelong politician, okay? So you went to school, you studied a bunch of stuff, right? Then you became a politician, and you're going to tell me the best thing for my business. Come on, man. Like that's just ridiculous, guys. The other great thing that politicians are great at, they're great at putting you in the victim mentality. They're great at putting you in that victim mentality and you feeling sorry for yourself because of someone else, okay? They're so great at, oh, the reason your life isn't where you want to be, it's because of Obama, okay? And guess what? The Democrats are going to be doing the same thing with Trump. Oh, the reason you're not at where you're at in your life is it's because of Trump, okay? Oh, and it's because of Bush, and it's because of Clinton, it's because of Reagan, it's because of Carter, it's because of these politicians. They're great at putting you in that victim mentality so you can just kind of, like, people just kind of like take a scapegoat. Like, oh yeah, it's not my fault. My life is not my fault. You got to take charge of your life. That's the number one thing. Whether you get somewhere or don't get somewhere, it's because you took charge of your life, not because of some politician held the power, and because that politician was in office, that's why you didn't get somewhere, guys. Never listen to advice from politicians. Absolutely idiotic, guys. Idiotic in my opinion. The second one, never take advice from short-term thinkers. In my opinion, most people out there are short-term thinkers. All they can think about is the short term, what the outcome is in that short term. If you are just in that short-term mindset, is going to be a really bad thing. Anything great that's ever been accomplished has been because of the long term, because of long-term thinking, okay? So all these people that are just thinking about short-term stuff, oh, I can't leave my job because I'm making such and such amount of money, right? And I might go down to this amount in the short term. Nah, I can't do that. Short-term thinkers, they think like, oh, I tried something for 2 months, I tried something for 3 months, it didn't work out, so therefore it wasn't for me. That's just short-term thinking, okay? You got to judge things off of the long term. You got to have a long-term vision for stuff. If you are listening to people that are around you that are all a bunch of short-term thinkers, you're going to end up thinking like a short-term thinker, and that's never going to provide results, in my opinion. Look at every single person that's ever been successful, that's ever been up there, guys. Anyone you ever looked up to, they were all long-term thinkers. If they thought about the short term, they would have never achieved what they achieved, right? So look at Steve Jobs, okay? He's one of the most admired people in the world. Obviously, he was a super long-term thinker. The iPhone, do you know the original iPhone sold a few 100,000 units when it came out, right? If he only thought short term and he thought that's all of the iPhone was going to do, that would have been a really bad decision on his part, right? He was thinking long term and what's that going to provide. Now Apple sells hundreds of millions of iPhones per year, okay? I don't care anybody you look up to that's ever been rich in life, that's ever been famous, all those things, they're all a bunch of long-term thinkers. They don't just think, oh, there's this one thing, and because of that, that just puts you in a quitter mentality, guys. So short-term thinkers, don't surround yourself with those type of people. And the last one is huge. Negative Nancies. Negative Nancies. There's two types of people in this world. One are optimistic generally about most things, okay? They're positive people. The other is they're generally negative about pretty much everything, okay? That's the two types of people in this world. Everybody's into one of those categories. One's a little more positive toward everything, one's more negative toward everything. You gotta stay away from those negative Nancies. Those negative Nancies, never end up achieving anything in life because they just look at everything as a negative. You can never be rich in life. You can never have your own business succeed because most businesses fail. So why is yours going to succeed? Yours is never going to succeed. You can't be a successful stock market investor. People, some people have tried stock market investing and they failed at that. You can't be successful at that. You can't become a multimillionaire. No, that's unrealistic. Negative Nancies will hold you back. And the best chance you have when you're around negative Nancies is being a mediocre person. That's your best case scenario. However, most negative Nancies, you know what they are? They're the bottom of the rung. They're the bottom. They're down here, guys, because they're negative about everything. They don't ever see the glass half full. They don't ever see the good in anything. And guess what? Negative Nancies turn off the positive people, right? Negative Nancies turn off the positive people because the positive people, most of them, they don't want to surround themselves with negative Nancies. And guess what? The positive people are the ones getting all the damn money. So when you become in that negative Nancy mindset, you become poor, okay? You have a poor mindset. One, if you're taking everything as a negative instead of a positive. And two, you're just going to turn off all the positive people that are making all the money in the end, guys. No one wants to be around a negative Nancy. So if you're taking advice from any of those three groups, politicians, short-term thinkers, or negative Nancies, guys, they're just going to hold you back tremendously. They'll put you in a victim mentality. They'll make you think you can't ever achieve anything in life. They're going to make you think that all you're meant to be is mediocre at best. You might not even be good enough to be mediocre, guys, and that will hold you back. And that's what I see everybody being held back by, honestly, at the end of the day, because they're in one of those mindsets or they surround themselves with those kind of people or those kind of thinking, guys. So hope you enjoyed this. Share it with somebody. I would love to see you guys share this with some friends and family out there. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.